Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Trainz Railroad Simulator. Trainz with a Z. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Frisco T-54 pack from K&L Trainz. I found it fitting that I yank this one out of storage since Machine Rail just put their version out for Train Simulator Classic, and a special member of my viewership requested I take a peek at this pack and kind of go over what I like on this pack over the model in Train Simulator, and kind of do a comparison. I kind of wish I could do a side-by-side video with Train Simulator Classic pulled up and Trainz pulled up, and kind of compare the two side by side, just kind of for giggles and squiggles. Alas, my computer doesn't like that at all. And Train Sim Classic is not cooperative. With Trainz pulled up, it gives me an out of memory error no matter what I do. So unfortunately, a side by side video is out of the question, but I can kind of point out some differences between the two. Now naturally they are two completely different simulators for two completely different play styles, with Train Sim Classic being geared more towards the physical train operation from the locomotive, whereas Trainz is meant more for model railroad design, and really and truly it's way better for operations than Train Sim Classic is. The AI is way better in Trainz than it is in Train Sim Classic, but that's a comparison of two games. We're not here for that. We're here for a comparison of two locomotives within those two games. Now, this pack is an older pack from K&L Trainz. It has been around a little bit, so certain things are definitely going to stand out like a sore thumb compared to his newer models. But there's still a pretty good pack. In the pack, you are going to get two different locomotives as well as a pre-made consist. The pre-made consist being right here, which is Frisco's entourage with the passenger cars that followed the locomotive around during its restoration, or during its operation period. And you will get the lined version as well as the unlined version, which just removes the lines. And the unlined version also has a doghouse on the tender, whereas the lined version does not. Now, there's not a clean or weathered variant. They are both kind of semi-weathered. But other than that, they are identical locomotives. To my knowledge, there is nothing else that changes on them. And you will get a aux car, the auxiliary water car, baggage, RPO, chair, and business car. Quite literally, well, not quite literally. If it was identical, it would come with a handful of passenger car, or those 3 freight cars as well. But it does not. But this is almost identical to what Machine Rail put out. Now, right off the bat, I absolutely like the models in Machine Rail from Machine Rail better for Train Sim Classic, as far as the rolling stock goes. K&Ls were nice for the time, but compared to newer products, these definitely show their age. They're flat, 2D textures. the windows are part of the textures, stuff like that. It's just, eh. The texturing in and of itself is very blurry, very, nah. The colors are alright. It's dirty all the way down. It's not clean. Stuff like this, it just hasn't aged well. And the Mars light back here that's not really lighted, but it is moving. Even if I had turned on the headlight, which is, you know, oh well. Now we'll run up to here. See what kind of things we can tinker with. Nothing on the aux. Nothing on that tender. Automatic fireman. And automatic fireman. So it's not really anything to play with. Bell. I really like the bell sound, and I like the fact that it's in sync. So that's pretty cool. Whistle. Whistle's not half bad. It does have that noticeable click, that pop in the sound loop. Something pretty common on a lot of K&L's early models, so not very surprising there. But the sound itself is quite nice. Cab, standard placeholder cab. This is before K&L really started doing their 3D cabs. And then up close, overall the detail is really pretty decent. The texturing, it's not my favorite. Weathering's not my favorite in general. I do kind of wish it was a little cleaner, or there was a clean variant. Overall, it doesn't look half bad. A lot of 3D bells and whistles modeled onto the locomotive, which is really nice. A shame the marker lights aren't functional. The weathering just makes everything look the same exact color. But overall, the detail is quite nice. 2D texture, rivets, nah. I do not have shadows turned on because shadows on some of my favorite routes absolutely murder my frame rates. As you can see, we're only getting 30 right now, so. Anywho, let's take it for a roll. I forget how much I love the chuff sounds on this. Now, something K&L did so much better than Machine Rail is the chuff sounds. The 1522 has a very, very, very noticeable, loud bark. And the Machine Rail model does not encapsulate that at all. The K&L model, though, absolutely. Yee. That audio change was not good. Everything rolls nice and smooth overall. That wasn't a smooth change either. Up until about 25 mile an hour, the sound files are really, really nice. They could stand to be blended better, but after 25 mile an hour, the change is extremely noticeable. There's, simply put, there's not really good blending to it. It's not blended well. It's just very, very, very noticeably different. It's a completely different tone, completely different, almost sound. High-speed chuff sound. K&L uses it on a lot of models, so nothing fancy there. We are on the Dry Brook and the Sopus Valley, hence we got all this wobble. See that change right there? That is wildly different. I don't like this. The exhaust and the steam both do not seem to want to keep up with the model. Go ahead and bring it to a stop. Yeah, there it is, guys. The Frisco T-54 1522 pack from K&L Trainz. Again, it is definitely a dated pack compared to his newer stuff. So, do I think it's held up well? Yeah, it's held up alright. Some things that are just glaringly obvious, like the chuff transitions just not being good, and then the lack of a 3D cab, really any things that can be changed on it, any of the options. But overall, it is a nice pack. Overall, it is still pretty decent, still holds its own pretty well, and it's still a lot of fun. I like running this locomotive a lot. It's a real shame there's not a lot of Frisco coaches to go with it, but such is life. So, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys next time.